around and they gave Greg Abbott $1 million right away, as we're explaining here, because they were considering regulation to do something about it. So that's why Greg Abbott, when they say he was not involved in any way in doing this, yeah, he doesn't run the company. But so did he do anything to fix it? No, because he got the $1 million bribe. I mean, campaign contribution right around the same time. So he chose to make sure that nothing got done to fix the situation. Well, that's covering up the crime. And then oil and gas poured in another $4.6 million. They're like, oh my God, we got this great utility scam in Texas. We have a total crook who's on our side, who's the governor. And even if we kill people and we make billions of dollars doing it, he protects us. Let's give him a paltry $4.6 million and we'll make billions. And the people of Texas will not be protected at all. And so now every company in the country has seen that. They're like, oh, we could rob Texans blind. And the head crook, the getaway driver, is the governor. He's gonna let us do anything. So let me go back to that chart of donors that Jordan showed you earlier. Because remember, just keep this in mind. This is only for the 2022 election. Just one election. Abbott's raised way more than this for all these industries. But when you look at oil and gas, in that election cycle, they gave him $7.5 million. That's why he lets you freeze to death and does nothing about it. He's super happy because he's getting all the money and power. He doesn't give a damn about you guys. But now when you talk about the housing issue, not only do you have the 3.6 million from securities and investments, those are the guys buying up the houses, but you have another $4.1 million from real estate interest right above it. So that also comes out to about $7.8 million. You think that Greg Abbott's gonna help you with housing prices? No, for the 90% of Texans that are concerned about that, he's gonna help private equity screw you guys over. And hopefully snatch your house up, give it to them, meaning that they buy it, and then they make you rent from them for the rest of your life. You never accumulate any assets like your parents and grandparents did. You get no wealth at all, and instead, Greg Abbott gets millions more in campaign contributions, and they laugh at you. They think we're conservative. They think we hate big government. They think we're gonna drain the swamp. Give me more money, let's rob them together. And that's Greg Abbott and these son of a bitch donors who are robbing you blind. So these are reality. Now, by the way, Jordan, I'll say I add one last thing on it. Hey, so everyone is concerned about housing prices. The Republicans aren't going to do anything about it because they work for the big banks. Why don't you do something about it? Now, are they going to say it? Very likely not, because they wouldn't want to anger their private equity donors. This system disgusts me.
That's such a good transition, because shortly before we went live, I just saw from CNBC that Kamala Harris is bringing Brian Deese, an economic advisor, he was with Biden for a little bit, onto the campaign to help shape some of her economic proposals. And Brian Deese comes from BlackRock. What is one of those private equity firms buying up all these homes across the country? BlackRock. In 2021, I did a piece on this for Newsweek 2 years ago. In 2021, 25% of single family homes sold were by institutional investors. And 75% of those purchases were made in cash, which helps because they can make that, they can pay in full, they can drive up the price. And they've inflated the housing market, and then they turn those into rentals and then jack up rents for people. And you could just draw a through line from private equity firms to Democratic donors, even Republican donors, and also the people advising these politicians. Do you think they're going in there and saying, let's look out for the little guy? No, they're going back to these private equity firms after they serve time in the public sector, going back to the private sector. Hey, mission accomplished. Where's my bonus? Where's my high salary? These people do not care about you. But yes.
Please stop being naive, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, and thinking, oh, the other side is so terrible and corrupt. But
conservatives, I'm not a conservative myself, so you guys are gonna have to figure this one out on your own. Yet again, here's another example of how I keep saying they're not with you, right? Almost none of the largest voices that are on your side or claim to be on your side, that are saying the things that you're saying, that are claiming to agree with you, they're not really with you. They're just getting rich off of you. The Young Turks is a left-wing propaganda network, right? One of the big things they used to do, not so much now, or at least they kind of, I guess they moved it to another one of their channels, but their main channel hasn't really done a lot of the excessive race baiting that they used to do. But they've definitely been dishonest, misleading, and they're absolutely a propaganda network. I mean, the founder of the network literally was running for president. I mean, talk about blending media with politics, right? This is not a news organization that's informing their audience. They are trying to promote an ideology. And they're also trying to demote another ideology, right? They're trying to demote conservatism and promote their ideology on their audience, right? They're trying to convert people to their way of thinking, not just tell them the truth. right? As bad as they are, and I've went after them so many times, they're still far better than anything you guys have. They just sat there knowing the risk of Donald Trump winning, right? You know, all the liberals been talking about Project 2025, and if Trump wins, it's the end of democracy. And, you know, they're terrified of another Trump presidency, right? And Kamala Harris has been doing well lately, but, you know, they've all been admitting that she can still lose. It's not a guaranteed election. And they sat there and told you the truth about a Republican governor, Governor Abbott, how much of a fraud and a phony he is, how much he is captured by corporate interests. These corporations are buying him off, right? So all the stuff he, you know, oh, Green New Deal, whatever, that's not what he thinks, right? You guys might think that, but he doesn't think that. He's saying the stuff that his donors want him to say. But the most important part is, immediately after calling out the Republicans, they went and they called out Kamala Harris for looking to hire. I have to look into that and see if it's true. I'm skeptical. I don't care what your ideology is. I don't just take information that I hear online and go with it. So I have to look into that. But they're saying that I wouldn't be shocked if this is true. They're saying she's looking to hire some guy that's a BlackRock guy, right? So they potentially will do their normal thing, trying to pretend to be the good guys, running mostly on being a contrast to the alternative, which is the Republicans. But then when it comes to what they actually do, you will see that, you know, they may not be as corrupt as the Republicans, but again, if you have these major corporations that are donating to the Democrats, you know, it's going to be an issue, obviously. But again, who in right-wing media, right after telling you how horrible the Democrats are, right, and doing it in an honest way, usually if they tell you how horrible the Democrats are, for some reason they focus a lot on lies and misinformation. Somehow the truth about how dishonest the Democrats can be is not good enough, right? So in order for them to paint the Democrats as evil and whatever, they have to make stuff up and, you know, call them socialists and Marxist this and far left, you know, calling centrist, right-leaning Democrats far left, right? That's what they have to resort to. But regardless, let's say you agree with that. They are really socialists or whatever. But then that's it. That's the end of the video. Okay, Democrats suck. They're evil. All right. So they may not be overtly telling you to vote for Republicans. They'll say vote for Trump for some reason. But they may not be saying vote for Republicans. But by default, they're saying vote for Republicans because all they're doing every day is telling you how bad the liberals are, how extreme they are, how crazy they are, how they're going to destroy this country, and the country's in ruins under Biden, and look what's going on, and people can't afford anything, and blah, 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 blah. So they're saying all of this stuff, and all the stuff is about the Democrats. Obviously, vote for Republicans, right? That's the message that they're sending to you. Who in right-wing media will tell you what you believe to be the truth about Democrats, how bad they are, and then immediately tell you, oh, and the Republicans, they're going to screw you too. The only exception to this is any Republican who actually has enough integrity, right? And just because they have this level of integrity doesn't make them a good person. It just means they have more integrity than others. The few Republicans that have the integrity and the spine to stand up against their party and call the party out on the corruption, those are the ones that your right-wing media will tell you, oh, they're evil and this and that and that, blah, 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 and they're not Republicans, they're rhinos, right? But overall, the Republican Party, who's 110% behind Trump, right? Who in right-wing media will tell you how awful the Democrats are and then tell you, hey, the Republicans too. So this is a propaganda left-wing channel calling out the Republicans and then immediately calling out Kamala Harris while she's surging and everyone was falling in love. Kamala, she's going to change this and that and she's wanting happiness while Trump, right? Who will do that? You think Steven Crowder's going to do that? Steven Crowder going to make a video and say Democrats are going to ruin the country and then say, by the way, Trump, you know, he's controlled by donors as well. He ain't saying that. You think Ben Shapiro going to say that? Tim Pool going to say that? Fox going to say that? You think Newsmax going to say that? What big influencer on the right are going to say that to you? Libs of TikTok? They're not going to say that to you. So if a dishonest propaganda left-wing network is so much better than anything you guys have in your media and influencers, I mean, what does that tell you? You letting the Young Turks? You letting the Young Turks make the whole right-wing media look like trash? The Young Turks who conveniently, just like almost all of independent media, both sides, right? Like talk about mainstream media, the corporate news, right? They ain't got that energy for independent media. How many times the Young Turks talk about, and again, this is a left-wing propaganda network, but even them, how many times they going after Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder, Tim Pool, Blaze TV? Most of their audience probably don't even know who half those people are, because all they ever talk about is corporate media, mainstream media, right? Like breaking point. They tell you that this media is legacy. Nobody's watching anymore. Everybody's getting the news online. But yet, all day long, they talk about corporate media, this, corporate media, that. They ain't got much to say about their colleagues in right-wing independent media. Interesting how that works. But still, that same broken network, that same misleading network is way better than anything you guys have in right-wing media influence circles. Why is that? I'm not a conservative, so I'm gonna let you guys answer that question in the comment section below. This is a Debate Me channel. Debate me in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well.